the one I like to be, a different side of me, yeah. You'll find a different side of me, like someone pretty neat, a different.
Hey, everybody. I am here, Shakita Taylor here, and I am so excited about the release of my new book. So, one of the things I talk about in the book a lot is like my personal life, my growth, how I was before, and how I became, and all the stuff in between. And one of the things I talk about is dating. And I thought that it would be interesting to see the other side of this perspective because, of course, in the book you just see my perspective and what I thought happened, what I thought was a good idea, but I thought it'd be interesting to see the other side. So this is Jason. This is my bag. Hey. He has no idea what I'm going to ask him, so he might look a little nervous. Yes, but but I just want to have a quick conversation about like all the things. So are you ready?
Born with it.
All right, so when Jason and I first started dating, one of the biggest rules that I had, and one of the things I talked about in the book, is like not introducing my children to anyone. So, like, how did you feel about that? Did that make you feel some kind of way? Was it different than you were used to? Like, what were your thoughts about that?
At first, it was questionable, but I had to put myself in your shoes. And once I did that, I realized everything makes sense in me.
Oh, it's questionable.
Yeah, because like, why you don't want to meet your kids? Like, is there something wrong with me? Are you hiding something? It was just the unbeknown.
Okay, so break. When Jason and I first started dating, he thought I was secretly married and he was my side dude. So did that have something to do with it? You thought I had secret children too?
No, it was just something new to me. And I just had to adjust.
So when you say something new to you, women you dated in the past, you met their children pretty quickly?
More, yeah, I would say yes. Yes. It wasn't say the same week or anything, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah. And so how did that make you feel that I was not willing to allow you to meet the kids?
Well, it made me feel different about you. It actually made me admire you more, that you would be more respectful towards your kids.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So what would you say to people like when they are, from like the male's perspective, when they're dating, they have children, whether they've been married or not married, but they have kids and they're dating, what advice, if any, would you give women when it comes to introducing a potential mate or partner? Is there a time frame? Is there not a time frame? Does it matter? What would be like, if you could give women advice from your perspective?
From my point of view,
yes.
I will wait.
Why?
Because it's very important. You will want to introduce your kids into a man that's going to be there overnight, and he's not ready to be there and be part of their life. That is very important. Other than that, it's just going to be like a chain reaction every time, in and out, different men inside a child's life, and you don't want that. Yeah, I prefer you wait till you know you're serious with that person. And that can take up to a year. Actually, it takes 2 years to get to know a person. That's my opinion.
Wait, you
well, it all depends on the person as well. Mm-hmm. But you asked my point of view, so mm-hmm. That's my point of view of the situation. Yeah, I think that's very important to make sure you are going to be with that mate before you introduce your children.
Okay.
That doesn't happen overnight.
So for all the people out there that's like, oh my gosh, like she's amazing. No, I'm just kidding. When you and I started dating, started talking to each other, and I started saying stuff to you like, I ain't getting married again. What you talking about? I don't know if I want to do that. Like which I actually said out loud. Like how did you interpret that and navigate those grounds? Because most women who are in their 30s, over 30, they are looking to get married like yesterday. especially women who have children. Not all of us, I don't want to stereotype anybody, but generally speaking, most women over 30, if they desire to get married, they're ready. And so when you walk in and you hear me be like, no, like, how did you navigate that?
At first, I would say by me being more mature mentally, I kind of understood where you was coming from, being that you was recently married. And I do understand when some women go through divorces, it takes a while for them to get back in that space. So I didn't take it as in a negative way. I just took it, if it does happen, it would take time. Pretty much, I didn't take it as well, as no need me dating you, you know, because that's what I was looking towards for forming a relationship. But in the end, marriage is just a title to some people, but then some people mean something. So it all depends on the person.
So if it's just a title, then why we gotta do it?
I said some people.
Oh,
I didn't say that. Well, that was my thought. So
oh,
everybody have a different opinion on that subject. So
okay,
yeah.
Okay, just asking. Okay, so we start dating, we do all the things, and there is a phrase that I won't use here that you use to describe me often. And you have said on more than one occasion that I act like a dude. Like, what does that mean? And I will let you explain.
Go ahead.
And have you seen that change? And what is the positives or negatives or whatever about that?
Right. I didn't literally say you act like a dude. Let's get this straight, people. I did not tell her she act like a dude. It's her mental state of when the thinking process is similar to a man's thought process. And there are a lot of women that's out there like that. And that's how they navigate through their relationships. Sometimes it can be a positive thing because you can't get played because you're already thinking like a man. And then it could be a negative could be a negative thing that if your partner is not understanding their point of view from you, they can take it as like you just have masculinity, you know, like you're masculine. You're too, you know, manlike.
So when you said it to me, what did you mean? Like,
what I said to you, I meant like what I just explained. You thought like a man, not that you actually act like a man. That's when it comes to the process of thinking in relationships.
So, I mean, I'm being a bit sarcastic, but I kind of agree that once I got back in the dating realm, that whole thing of being, oh, I'm gonna be your boo stuff. I was like, man, do what? Nah. And it took a while for me to kind of let my guard down. And it's not all the way down, but better than it was. So being like a very much kind of like an alpha man and coming into a relationship with someone like me who is very, very assertive and a little bit controlling, like how did you navigate that so we weren't constantly doing this, even though we do this? Like, like how did you, I guess, how did you make the decision that you were willing to even navigate those waters?
It has a lot to do with my thinking process. Me personally, I know me who I am. I need a little affirmative action in my life. So I just look at it as you're a headstrong person versus that the opposite of other people may think. What made me navigate through it is just willing to learn you in general. And I accepted that was part of you. And I'm not trying to change it, and I wouldn't change it. And if it would change, it would do eventually itself. Once I got a little close to your heart. So
basically, you say you're trying to love me to be a softie?
No,
That's what I heard.
Not to be a softie, but to open up more and be less manly. It'll let me think. Less manly thinker. Less manly thinker.
Again.
No. Manly thinker. Yeah.
I think you just called me a man again.
Did not. Clearly, you guys, you know what I was talking about.
So now that you are in this different world, well, first back up. Before dating me, had you ever dated someone who was divorced with children?
No.
And so being in this world that is having to deal with like ex-spouses, new other people's spouses, children, all that stuff, my family, and then not only that, but with your own child and things. How has that been? Like, how would you describe that to someone who's like, yo, are you surviving? What's up? How would you describe that?
It's been a process, I would say. It's an even flow process. You have to go in with your eyes wide open, and be willing to adapt to a situation that you might not be familiar with or used to. But overall, it was a great experience for me, because I had to know that I cannot love you and not be able to love your kids. As far as dealing with your spouse, it's just like dealing with a coworker. I don't have to like you, you don't have to like me, but we can agree or disagree and still get along. But for feelings involved with it, no. It's just about adapting with me personally. And that's how I navigated through it.
So do you feel like you've given up anything by like being with this person with all this baggage? I mean, I'm amazing. So I don't think you have, but do you feel like men who settle down with and start committed relationships with women who already have children or already have baggage of being divorced, that they are settling somehow?
Oh no, you're far from not settling. The thing is, when you deal with a person, this is my point of view. You have to know what comes with that person, and you have to decide: are you willing to adapt to what comes with this person? Because you can love that person to death, but if you don't love the other side of her, what is it worth? And that's pretty much my thought on that.
Okay, so now this don't have to do with like love and kids and everything. But so when you really got to know me and realized like how super corny I was and like how lame and I wanted to do all the like the super corny thing, like did that take you a minute to be like, wait, am I really gonna be this lame or am I gonna like draw a line in the sand?
Okay, that goes back to what I was saying about learning your partner and understanding your partner. And actually, those things that you call corny was kind of enlightening and funny to me. It drew me more to you, because it was a side that of me that I have that I don't get to show a lot, and you helped bring that part out of me. So yeah, it was a transition.
Hold on. So you
Yeah.
saying that you corny and lame?
Yes,
too?
I have corny characteristics. I am corny at one time. Well, some people may not think that, but hey, I will admit, yes, I have. I can be corny.
So this last question is something that like burns me up when people say, but I just let it happen. And this comes from most of my family, some of my friends, but mostly my family. And they say, oh, you different now that Jason's around. Like, so you didn't know me before, but when you hear that in different contexts, like, what does that make you think?
Well, in the beginning, it was like I think it was like both ways. On my part, I had people doing the same thing with me. And in actuality, you're supposed to be different when you find love and when you find someone true. Because there's going to be characteristics that come out of you that you didn't even know you had. But the thing about it was the fact that when it transitioned like that, it made me think that, hey, this is pretty cool. I can do this.
Did you think that maybe I was a crazy psycho?
No,
before you met me?
because when they were saying about you're different, and I was like, I didn't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as, well, maybe she's more outgoing now, so she have a little spark in her a little bit. Put a little fire behind her. She's a little different. But I think that goes on both ends when you in relationships, when your friends and your family, they notice the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know really for me, I am a lot different. And I roll my eyes and always have a comment when someone points it out. But I think it really is as simple as feeling like I'm in a safe space. When before I was in a place that I was performing for people, I was being who you needed me to be.
Put a
And
mask on. We all put our mask on at once.
right. And then I just came to a point in life where I was like, this is who I am. I'm kind of corny and dorky. I like to read. I'm gonna be willing to try different things and kind of step out of my bubble a little bit. And I just became more willing to be myself. And with that, I guess I'll admit that Jason did allow me to do that because I felt that it was safe. That regardless of what I did or how I did it, what I said, what I wore, that it was going to be a judgment-free zone. Now, he got a whole lot of opinions, but it always comes from like a non-judgmental place. And so it just has allowed me to be free, to be out there, to just embrace fully who I am. And that is one of the goals of the Infinitely Worthy book, is that there are different lessons learned and strategies and implementations so that you can discover whoever you are and not be afraid to just like let your freak flag fly. Like be all the weird, quirky person that you are and have a safe space for that to happen. So full disclosure, I have completely put him on the spot. He did not realize this was happening today. But I am very, very grateful just to have him here to talk about this and in my life. So the book will be dropping, or it has dropped as far as the ebook is concerned. Stay tuned for book signings and to be able to get your copy. Good talking to you guys. Anything you want to say?
All I can say is, hey, true love is out there. Just take your time and be patient, and you will find it.
Yeah, I think he loved me. Bye.